Hi there, it's Julie, and in this video I'm going to be sharing how to put together the Sardine tin pop-up card. And this was actually inspired by my daughter in part because she has been seeing sardine can art and thought it was so fun and funny. And she's like, Mom, you should make a card out of this. I think it would be fun. And so I agreed with her because I've seen the sardine cans too, and I think they're so pretty, and the art is fun and it's funky, and that's what inspired this pop-up card. So I'm going to start by putting together the top layer or the front layer, and this is common for me. I like to dry fit the pieces before I actually apply any glue to them, so just to make sure that everything is fitting the way it should. I even do that when I'm developing the prototype, so that way if I need to make adjustments to the file before I create the finished sample, I can see how things are going to fit together. So there are some optional sentiments that go on this part of the sardine can lid, and I think you'll have a lot of fun generating different cards for different people based on the variety of sentiments that are included in the file. Now, to put this blue part to the lid, this is going to get mounted directly to the back of the front layer. So I'm going to make sure that I put glue where I need it and not where I don't, because sometimes when you're putting multi-layered things together, you put glue everywhere, and it's like, no, you didn't need glue everywhere. And then I'm just going to mount this from the back side because I can see much better that those interior curves are lining up and you don't see the edges of it peeking out from the white layer. So now I'm going to set that aside and work on the middle layer, which has the shadow layers of the sardines. And even though this layer is, all these sardines are pink or red going onto a pink layer, you wouldn't have to make all the sardines red. Originally, I was going to have all of those detail layers fused together as one piece, and then it dawned on me that it would really be fun to make the sardines different colors if you wanted to. So I left them separate so you would have the option to do that when you put this card together, which I think it would be fun, like to have a rainbow of colors of different sardines inside there. So now I'm going to go ahead and crease the fold lines and grab the back panel and get those creased there on the fold lines. And one thing I wanted to do is get to, sometimes I forget, but I like to put the back layer on at this point that has the sentiment that goes on the back. And I'm just going to run glue all across that surface, but you could use a tape runner if you wanted. And like I said, when you check out the file, you're going to see that there's a whole bunch of different sentiments you could put with this. I think this card is so much fun. I love it. Love how it turned out. So now I'm going to go ahead and start assembling it. And there's several different ways that you could actually put the layers together, but I'm going to try this one where I put the hinges on the left side together first, and then I'll put the hinges on the right side together. So I'm going to fold that right flap towards the back, and the front one there on the left is going to get folded forward. And then I can squeeze it right there in between that flap that's going to attach the sides to each other. And you can kind of see what I mean there. See, so I've got it skewed over to the left. And then I can go ahead and get the front layer mounted. And that little blue flap is going to be hidden behind that front layer. So there we go. Get some glue on there and then flip that over. And like I said, you may need to play around a little bit, do a dry fit just to make sure that you're able to put it together that's most comfortable for you. Sometimes people like to put the front layer and the back layers together with the flaps, and then they will separately mount that inside layer. Just dry fitting it and then dropping it down inside there and securing the flaps to the side. But you can do it whatever way floats your boat. So I'm just going to go ahead and reinforce that, and I probably shouldn't be messing too much with it because I didn't let it dry or set up enough before I started messing with the other side. I need to be more patient, but I'm always excited to see how the final turns out. And I don't wait like I should. So now I'm just going to go ahead and get that right hand flap, which is folded towards the back, lined up. You can see how it creates kind of that box shape when you're looking at it from the top down. And then I need to let that set up, but of course I didn't. I got really excited about, oh, let's go ahead and get, all of this other stuff lined up. And then I ended up, because I was futzing, it shifted that middle layer out of position, so I had to go back and reposition it and burnish it down a little bit more with my fingers to make sure it was setting up. And this is kind of the part where I need to like slap my hands and walk away just for a minute, put a book down on top of it and walk away, come back a couple minutes later, and then, proceed with the next part. This glue does dry fairly quickly, but it does have some open times so that you can kind of slide and shift things around till you get them positioned perfectly. And anyway, you'll see me futzing with that a little bit until I start really going at it. I'm kind of looking for my my bone folder because I was burnishing with my hands, and then I was like, oh, the bone folder would probably be better because if I have any glue on my hands, I'm going to be smearing that all over the place. But anyway, you can see how that collapses down flat and then pops up, and it will fit inside a 5x7 envelope. Isn't that the funnest thing? I thought it turned out really cute. So I'm going to grab an envelope and tuck it in so you can see that it's perfectly flat for mailing. And I love how it's a 3D effect, but it's not going to get affected when it goes through the mail because it will collapse flat. There you go. Fits inside the envelope really nicely. I suppose you could reduce the size to try to fit it into an A2 envelope, but then it makes it harder to cut any of the smaller details and get good clean cuts. So I recommend staying with the 5x7 sizing the way it comes. All right, I hope you enjoyed watching this assembly and you have fun with this file. Thanks for watching.